that this community can say we are not a part of that statistics. That may be a statistics for the nation, but this community, this Caribbean community, is not a part of that statistics. So we just want to thank you. We're in the studio. The number is 954-792-1170, 954-792-1170. Give us a call, share with us what's on your mind, any question that you may have as we're wrapping up the tax seasons. We have been speaking to you a lot about taxes the past 4 weeks, and we're gonna continue. We're gonna wrap it up together tonight. We're gonna summarize it. We're gonna tell you some pros and some cons and some do's and some don't. But remember, we are in the studio, 954-792-1170, 954-792-1170. We're with you every Sunday night from 9 to 10 p.m. But remember, you have 24/7 access to us. 24/7 access. We have a website, financialliteracy.info. Financialliteracy.info. You can go to the website, check us out. You can go straight from the website to the media page. Yes, we have a Facebook page, we have a Twitter page, we have a LinkedIn page, and we also have a YouTube channel. So what's the purpose of the YouTube channel? Well, we have been with you since January 1st, 2017. What is that? We are now going on 1 year and 3 months and 8 days. Oh my gosh. Thank you. We have listeners who have been with us from day one. You know yourselves. I just want to thank you guys for joining us, and thank you for the encouragement. And we have listeners who have just joined us starting last week. We thank you also. We thank you. Don't keep us a secret. You still have time on the Facebook page. Send the link. Share with your family. Share with your friends. Don't keep us a secret. Like the page. Tell them that the financial literacy guy is on. He's going to share some good stuff tonight. Spend this next hour with us, okay? So we thank you again. All right. So what we're going to do tonight? The past few weeks we have been talking to you about taxes. And you hear in the news, tax deadline. So why have we been spending so much time talking to you about taxes? The answer is simple. Taxes are the number one impediment to your wealth. Yes, but taxes, it's a funny topic because taxes, like you'll even talk about a cop, police officers, we call them cops. Cops, you have two kind of cops, right? A lot of people would put cops in two categories. Some would say you have the good cop and the bad cop. Taxes can be similar to that, the good cop and the bad cop, or you can even say good and evil. Because the same tax that can be an impediment to your wealth can be a benefit to your wealth. And you ask yourself, how is that possible that the same thing can be a benefit and a disaster? It all depends on how you use it. It's just like a hammer. A hammer is made to drive nails, right? Yeah, that's what a hammer is made to do, which is a good thing, right? Because you're nailing something you can drive. But that same hammer can be used as a weapon. So it's one of those things where you have the catch-22. You have the good, you have the bad. But we're going to summarize. We're going to wrap it together. In other words, we're going to put the bow on it tonight, talking to you about what we have covered and why is it important that you educate yourself regarding taxes. And if you don't want to take the time to educate yourself, then you find professionals. You find professionals that can guide you. There are many good professionals out there. I know sometimes we tend and we hear the horror stories and we hear the bad stories and we hear about identity theft and we hear about this tax professional did this or this one did that. Folks, it happens in every field. There's no field where you don't have pluses and minuses. My wife always remind me of a saying. She always remind me this. Things happen and she'll say it, and I think she was probably the first one I heard it with, where she says, doctors differ and patient dies. Yeah, doctors differ and patient dies. It doesn't necessarily mean that the doctor intended to. It doesn't. But some doctors, do you know some doctors do continuing education more than some? You don't believe that? Yes, some do. Just the same way with CPA, attorneys, tax professionals, you have some people are gonna do more than the other. Some people are gonna they've gotten their degree, they have gotten their license, and some people will do bare minimum. It doesn't mean it's a bad person, but it just happens. So it's the same way with taxes. You're going to talk to some people and you're going to hear some information that differ from another person. You may, even though it's the same tax code, you may speak to 5 different CPAs about a particular topic and you may get 5 different answers. Because guess what? We're sharing information based on our perspective. You know that each of us, our perspective is driven by our experience. So one person may have a perspective on a particular topic differ from the next person, and it's because their experiences are different. So that's going to happen. So in financial literacy, I want to summarize the purpose of financial literacy again. Even though we've been talking about it for 1 year and 3 months now, I just want to summarize it. Remember, what we're striving to help you develop is a personal economic model. What does that mean? Oh my gosh, Hubert, you're using that personal economic model. A personal economic model, it's just like the first word says, it's personal. Your economic model may be different from someone else, and someone else may be different from yours. So yes, okay, Hubert, you explained the personal, but what is this that you're talking about, economic model? All right, in a nutshell, an economic model is your economy. Your economy. Because remember, we here who are living in the United States, you may be living in the United States, some of you are in the Bahamas listening, some are in Jamaica, some are in England. Then wherever you are, there is an economy there, right? Jamaica has an economy. The USA got an economy. England got an economy. All right, but guess what? You also have an economy. Because, so what's the difference? When you look at it from a country standpoint or a region, whether it's North America, South America, United Nations, that economy is what you call a macro. Because it's on a global sense. That's a macro economy. But talking about yours is considered micro economy, in the sense that it's about what you are doing. So ask yourself this: what are you doing? Because here's what's going to happen when you're developing your personal economic model. You are wrestling with 2 things. There are 2 things you're wrestling with. Every one of us are wrestling with these 2 things. So it's not like one person wrestle with it and another person. We are all wrestling with these 2 things. And what is it? It's lifestyle. Every one of us has a lifestyle. Yeah, every one of us has a lifestyle. So you're saying, but Hubert, if every one of us has a lifestyle, what are you talking about wrestling with? All right, here's what we're wrestling with. We're wrestling with a current lifestyle. What you're doing today, this is Sunday evening. What you're doing today is your current lifestyle. How are you earning your money? How are you spending your money? How are you saving your money? That's all a part of your lifestyle, and that's a current lifestyle. So what we wrestle with is current lifestyle versus future lifestyle. Yes, future lifestyle. So we all have a current lifestyle and a future lifestyle. But here's the challenge. So what's the challenge? The challenge is, if all your earnings, and we talk about this in the personal economic model, we all have a lifetime capital potential. Lifetime capital potential. What is that? A lifetime capital potential is the amount of capital or cash that's gonna pass through your hands. Yes, it's gonna come into your hands. So the decision that you have when those funds come into your hands, you have to ask yourself, am I gonna use my cash just for my current lifestyle, or am I gonna structure some to go against or towards my future lifestyle? And that is a challenge. It's a challenge of every individual. Okay, maybe not a baby. Maybe not a baby. So let me correct that. Okay, a baby doesn't know about their current or their future lifestyle. That's incumbent on the parent or the guardian or whoever is taking care of that baby, where you know that, okay, what is it that you're going to do for that baby? So the baby has an excuse, right? So we're going to let the baby off the hook. We're not going to, okay, all right. So you may say, all right, so where does it start, Hubert? You know, it can start as early as one start getting some type of income. And you may say, but what age does that start? It all depends. You have 7-year-old earning income. You have 10-year-old earning income. So it doesn't fall into this thing, well, oh, you have to be an adult. No, come on. If you have to be an adult, what do you think all those kids are who are in those commercial, they're 5-year-old, 7-year-old, they are models. They're models. What, you think they model for free? They don't model for free. They get paid. But because they are 7-year-old, they cannot enter into certain agreement, so the parents are getting the income based on their performance. So what happened now? So you see, even though it's a child, then there's a wrestle with lifestyle, but then that's a responsibility of the parent. Okay? But we all have to deal with it. What are we gonna do with our capital potential? Okay? So, but now, so you have the individual part where we say, each of us says, okay, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna structure current lifestyle versus future lifestyle? But do you know that there are forces? Yes, there are forces that's gonna affect what you do also. Oh my gosh, Hubert, what is it that you're talking about? Remember, taxes. Remember, you hear the saying, all of us have heard this saying, that debt and taxes are the two certainties in life. Debt and taxes, dying. Every one of us gonna die. Every one of us gonna pay some kind of a tax. But you notice, you remember in this show I added a third one. You remember? If you go back to when I spoke to you about Medicare and long-term care. Remember, I added a third one because previously we used to say it was just debt and taxes. But here's a third one. And my seniors, I want you to listen. Remember, in this program, what we call seniors, or who we call seniors, we use every individual who are age 62 and older. Why is it that we use 62? The reason being, if you've been working in the system, in the U.S. system, and you've been working for 10 years, you have 40 credits in the system. Remember, I'm telling you tonight what we're doing. We're giving you overall. We're going through a summary. So it's not one particular topic we're talking about. So we're going to dive a little bit here. We're going to dive a little bit here because we're talking to you about your lifetime, your lifetime, your personal economic model. Okay? So here's the thing now. Debt and taxes. That's what we used to hear. Those are the two certainties in life. But I coined a third one. I brought up a third one. Here's a certainty, talking to the seniors. The longer you live, there is something that you're not gonna avoid. Seniors, you know what I'm talking about. The longer you live, you will face health issues. This is not a if. So you can call, yes, you can call me and tell me, well, you know this person who's 95 and they don't have any health issues. Well, I don't know. You will have to prove that hard for me, that you're going to tell me you know someone who's 95 and don't have any health issues. Because what happens as our body age, there are certain things that gonna decay. Our bones, it's just a natural. The aging process is a process that's gonna cause some deterioration. You know, you're not going to get to 65, 70, 75, and you're going to do the same thing you were doing at 25 or 35. And yes, okay, you may go pick out a one or a two person and you may tell me about Jack LaLanne, and you may say to me, well, when Jack LaLanne was 78, he could do this. And you may tell me about Jane Fonda. And listen, those are exceptions. You're picking out one and two persons to say, well, that person beat gravity or they beat the aging process. But let me tell you, whether it's Jack LaLanne, whether it's Jane Fonda, you name any one of the gurus, I don't care which one of them, there's gonna come a time where the aging process is gonna win and health issues gonna come. It's just natural. So what we're gonna change the saying to say there are three certainties in life: debt, taxes, and deterioration of our body as we age. Okay? So we that's settled, right? We're not gonna go back there. We're gonna leave that alone. But let's talk about taxes. Remember, I started out saying to you, let me remind you, we are in the studio, 954-792-1170, 954-792-1170. Call us, give us your opinion, give us your questions, because as we share these things, we want to hear from you. We want to hear what's on your mind, because this show is about you. It's about you. We come here Sunday nights at 9 o'clock to do this show for you. This is about you. So we want to hear your feedback. We want to hear what's on your mind. Because when we hear what's on your mind, then we can tailor and we can structure it for you. Because our goal is to serve you. That's why we do this. That's why we do this. No other reason. We do this to serve you. So call us. Give us your feedback. 954-792-1170. 954-792-1170. We are in the studio. All right, let's continue with this taxes thing. Because we keep driving this to you. We keep driving it to you. You know, yesterday, I'm in the office. Yesterday, Saturday, a lady called me. She was referred. She called me from North Carolina. She was referred to us by another person. And the lady called. The lady's 63 years old. You know what she said to me? She says, Mr. McIntosh, I am 63 years old. I have been an RN for 40 years. And she says, I was not a good steward. That's what the lady said to me. She said, I was not a good steward. Myself and my husband, we were not good steward. But she said, Mr. McIntosh, I'm 63. I don't think it's too late. I want to restructure. She says, I have some money. I have saved some money. I want to restructure. And listen to what the lady says. She says, I have not been a good steward, but she says, I want to finish strong. Wow. Let me tell you, as a professional, when someone call you and tell you that, she said she wants to finish strong. So she realized that during the race, there have been some gaps. She had some gaps where she did not do certain things well. She said her husband did not do certain things well. Her husband is a tradesman. He's a tradesman. He has a trade. So basically, as an independent contractor, self-employed, and she said, we did not steward well because my husband would earn money and he did not report it to the system. So she says, here it is. I'm 63. My husband is 62. And folks, here is the hardest part in our business. That's why I talk to you about. You know, the lady says that her husband has 0 credits in the system. Do you hear what I just said? This is a 62-year-old person has 0 credit in the system. What does that mean? In 3 years, this gentleman is going to be 65-year-old. 65 is going to be. And normally he would have been able to be eligible for Medicare. But he has 0 credits in the system. He has 0 credit in. Folks, you need 40 credits in the system to be eligible for Medicare. Yeah, you need 40 credits. So someone is going to say, no, yes, I know you're thinking it. Oh, but Hubert, you can be in Medicare if you didn't have 40 credits. Yeah, you can? Yes, you can. But you better find $480 a month. $480 a month for your Medicare Part A. That's just Part A. You can be on Medicare, but it's $480 for Medicare Part A. Then you have to find another $135 for Medicare Part B. I'm not finished with you yet. So that's $480 plus $135. That's $615. And then what else is missing? You better find some money for Medicare Part D. That's the drug. So you have A, which is the hospital. You have B, which is the doctor. And D, which is the drug prescription. And when I say drug, come on, folks, let me clear that up because I don't want you to say I'm talking about people buying drugs on the radio station. No, I'm talking about prescription medication, okay? Let me clarify that before you call the FCC on me and tell me that this man is talking about drugs on the radio station. Prescription medication, okay? Oh my gosh. Every week I told you guys this, that I believe the fastest hour of the week, there's a There are 168 hours in the week, and I believe the fastest hour of the week is Sunday nights at 9, between 9 and 10. I don't know. I just sat down and I cannot believe we're 50% in. So I want you to stick and stay because I'm going to break shortly. We're going to go pay some bills. So stick and stay. We will be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for sticking and staying with us. You know, we are in the studio, 954-792-1170, 954-792-1170. Man, that first half an hour went through like a whirlwind. Wow, wow, wow. So we got another half to go. So remember, we are in Sunday school. We are in Sunday school. So if you don't have your pen and paper, you still have time. We have halfway to go. Okay. And for those of you who are on Facebook, you still have time. Share the link. Share the link with somebody. Don't keep us a secret. And remember, you don't have to just be on your radio. You don't have to be. Remember, there's an app. We have an app. It's in the Android store. It's on the iOS system. It's Waves WAVS 1170. WAVS 1170. You can join us on the app. You can go to the website WVS1170.com. You can go to financialliteracy.info and there's a link to WVS. So you have so many ways to join us. Share with others, because I've heard people say, well, my signal is not strong. I can't find you on the radio. No, you can find us. It doesn't have to be on the radio. It can be on the radio, yes, WVS 1170 AM. It also, remember, we're also streaming on the FM dial, from Broward County down to Dade County, FM 107.9. Yes, we're also streaming on FM 107.9. But you can catch us on the internet also. So you have no excuse. So we are gonna go forward in the second half. So I ended the first half talking to you about the Medicare situation and the lady that had called me yesterday from North Carolina. So one of the beauty in what we do in providing financial education is when someone shows up and they raise their hand that I have not been a good steward, but I am ready. Because there's an old saying, I don't even know if it's old saying, but it says, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You remember that? You have heard that. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Because here it is, we are on with you every Sunday night, 9 to 10. And some of you, may just see it as just a radio show and you're listening, but others see it as a lifeline where they can reach out and they can say, well, I may have not been a good steward, but you know what? I want to finish strong. Let me tell you, it's the greatest phrase or words you can hear from a client, a potential client, or a student when they says, you know what? I realize I'm not looking back. I am going forward. I am moving ahead because I want to finish strong. Because as you know in life, it's not how you start. It's not how you start. It's how you finish. Sometimes we can start earlier than other times, but there is no better time to start than today. Okay, so I celebrate that lady. And for those of you who have put your hands up and says, well, I am ready. So let's go back to this thing now with the tax thing now. So you have your income. No matter what you do, you're going to get some kind of income. So when that income comes into your hand or your bucket, whatever you want to call it, that's called monthly cash flow. So the cash flow is coming in. But remember I said to you, there are some factors that's going to affect your cash flow. The first factor your cash flow has to go through is the tax filter. Yes, the tax filter. None of us can escape the tax filter. None of us. All right. Okay, let me clear up some misconceptions. All right, you have people have just filed their taxes, and you have people who are filing their taxes today. Some have filed their taxes today, and some are filing their taxes tomorrow. And here is a saying that's going out. They are saying, I saved some taxes. You know what they're saying? They may have a 401k or some deferred type of plan, and because you can write that amount off, do you know that person's actually saying, wow, I saved taxes? Let me tell you, folks, that's the biggest misconception. You getting something that you did not pay the tax today, and you're telling people you save taxes. You didn't save no taxes. And I hate to break the bad news to you. You didn't save any taxes. What you did was you postpone. Some people they said defer. But defer is that nice little word where sometimes we don't even bother want to figure out what it means. Okay, we deferring our taxes or we putting it off. Well, I'm going to use the blatant word that we all know. All you did was postpone the taxes. Yes, that's all you did. You didn't save the taxes. You postponed the taxes. But here's a problem. When you postpone the taxes, guess what you did? You did not just postpone. You did not just postpone paying the taxes. You postponed the tax rate. Oh, you didn't know that? You thought that because your tax rate is 10% today, that the tax that they didn't take, when you're going to pay the tax later, it's going to be 10%? I'm sorry to burst your bubble. It's going to be the tax rate at the time that you're taking the money. So if the tax rate is 10% today, and you postpone the taxes, right, to the future, whether 20 years, 30 years, whatever you postpone the taxes to, whenever you're gonna take that money, you're gonna pay the tax based on the tax rate. Yes, the tax rate. But here's another part. All right. If you defer, if you had $10,000, you were to pay tax on $10,000, right? And you have it in a 401k or you have it in an IRA, and you didn't pay the taxes because you say you're going to defer the taxes or postpone the taxes. Guess what you're doing? And I don't think some of you are hearing this often enough. That $10,000 at 10%, so you'd have paid tax. You'd have paid $1,000 in tax, right? Let's work it out. 10,000, 10%, you'd have paid $1,000 in taxes. All right. Here's the pain. I'm going to share some pain with you, so brace yourself. Brace yourself for this pain now. If that $10,000 increases to 100,000, whether it's 20 years from now or 30 years, if that $10,000 increases to 100,000, you're not paying the tax on 10,000. You're paying the tax on 100,000. You didn't know that? You're paying the tax on 100,000. Remember, I'm telling you, I'm sharing the pain, and it gets worse. You're not paying the tax as 10%. You're paying the tax as a tax rate. So let's figure this out. So that 10,000 grows to 100,000, and the tax rate is 30%. Oh my gosh. Folks, are you doing the math? It's $100,000 times 30%. You're paying $30,000 in taxes. So what did you do? You avoid $1,000 in taxes because somebody told you that you're saving taxes. So you avoid paying the $1,000 and says you're going to let it ride. But guess what? Let me tell you, when you let it ride, you going to have to pay your partner. Your partner, Uncle Sam, wants his portion. Your partner wants his portion because guess what? When that 30% hits you, folks, think about what I just said. $30,000 versus $1,000. So you're paying $29,000 more in taxes because someone told you and you thought, oh my gosh, you thought you were saving taxes. So that's one of the problem with taxes, okay? Sometimes we think we're saving and we're not saving. But, so that's one of the bad part with tax. But, remember I told you, taxes have some good part also. We're in the studio in 954-792-1170. 954-792-1170. Give us a call. Share with us. Tell me what's on your mind. Tell me if you agree or you disagree with some of the things we're sharing. Because remember, if you're thinking it, there are other people thinking it also. So if you call, you're also helping them. Remember that. So don't think you're thinking one thing and you're the only one thinking it. Let me tell you, other people are thinking the same. They're not just voicing it. All right. So that's one of the negative about taxes. But here's one of the beautiful thing about taxes. The same tax. This if I tell you that you have plans that you can use the same tax to benefit where the government pay a part of your plan. What? Oh my gosh, what is he talking about? You have plans that the government will contribute to your retirement plan. Oh my gosh, I know that's shocking a lot of you, but oh my gosh, we understand that we have a caller. We're going to go straight to the caller. Caller, you're on the air.
All right, good. Yeah, I just have a question.
How are you, man? Good.
Right.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. Actually, I listen to your program almost every week. And, I have some problem on my own doing right now.
Uh-huh.
I was working, maybe the other week. But I heard what you were saying. I don't know if I can ask a question, public there coming to your office.
Yes, if it's private, you can call me. You can call me directly. I'll even give you my direct number. Call me directly. Call me directly. 954-701-4730. 954-701-4730. Call me directly and I can talk with you. If it's personal, I don't want you shared on the air. If it's a general question, you can go ahead and I'll answer it. But if it's private, you can call me and I will talk with you.
Yeah, it's kind of like personal.
Huh?
It's kind of like personal.
Yes. So call me directly. So folks, that's my direct line. You can call me direct. 954-701-4730. Okay, caller. Thank you.
I'll be listening. Yeah.
No problem.
The number out again. I'm putting on the phone on the
No problem. I'll give it again,
Yeah.
okay?
Thank you.
Call me directly. 954-701-4730. 954-701-4730. Call me directly. And remember, you can go on the website also, financialliteracy.info. Financialliteracy.info. You can go on the website. You can post your comments. You can send us an email. Yes, you can email us at support at financialliteracy.info. Support at financialliteracy.info. Okay? So thank you very much. So back to what we were talking about. There are plans that you can structure the plans where the government is basically paying it for you, where you can get the taxes to postpone. Yes. And remember, you said, oh my gosh, every time the tax is postponed, then I have to pay the tax in the future. Well, I'm telling you, there are plans. I don't know who's your tax professionals, but there are plans where sometime you can get it to be postponed, and when you take in the money, you can get it tax free. I am telling you this, and I know that sounds strange, that sounds unusual. Everyone may not qualify for it. Let me tell you that right now. Everyone may not qualify for it, but it exists, okay? So keep that in mind. Another thing, like for instance, you hear I mentioned to you HSA. Here's another thing, HSA. What is HSA? HSA is called a health savings account. A health savings account is one of these things that people are not talking about much. Here's the power of a health savings account. For this year, a married couple can contribute $6,750 to HSA. And that $6,750 is a tax deduction. Yes. For a single person, I think it's $3,450. It's a tax deduction. So in other words, you put that $3,450 or you put that $6,750 on your taxes, and it reduces your taxes. But guess what? There's also a double benefit. Do you know in that health savings account, that same money that you put away and you get a tax deduction, and you're using that money for health services, do you know you don't pay any tax on it? Yeah. So listen to what I just said to you. You got a tax deduction, and then you're using that money. It's tax free. So you're like, oh my gosh, why nobody explained it? Well, these are things that I'm telling you, you need to seek professional guidance. You think if you buy your little software, oh my gosh, I call it name. I don't mean to say anything bad about TurboTax. Intuit, please forgive me. But you buy your little software for $39, right? And you think, okay, I don't want to pay a professional. I'm just going to do my little taxes, blah, blah, blah. And you're dancing because you're like, oh my gosh, the tax man said he was going to charge me $300, but I have my little software. And you're dancing. You know, you're leaving Office Depot and you're dancing because you just paid $39. You think what I just told you, the tax, you think the software is going to tell you that? The software is not going to tell you that. So these are a lot of things, some of you, because you want to save this, you think you're saving. There's a saying from Jamaica. I don't even know if it's a Jamaican saying, you know, it may be an international saying, but I remember I have to talk about Jamaica because it's the first time I heard it. Penny wise and pound foolish. Penny wise and pound foolish. So here it is. You're buying a software for $39 where you think you're saving, but I just gave you one little tip just now, $6,750 that you could have written off if you're in a 20% tax bracket. You want to do the math on that? I don't even know the math. It's something like $1,300. That's $1,300 in tax you save, but instead you went and you bought your $39 software. That is what we're talking about when I said penny wise and pound foolish. Sometimes we try to take these shortcuts because we're thinking, oh my gosh, why this professional charge that? Let me tell you. You will always hear me recommend professions and professionals. Years. One of the most admired people from our practice, we admire. One of the most admired profession to us is a doctor. And sometimes we go to the doctor and then we begrudge, lack of a better word, we begrudge the doctor because what do we say? We say the doctor charges too much. The doctor makes too much money. Folks, let me bring you into reality. Professionals are professionals because of the extra time they take and study. Do you know what a doctor goes through to become a doctor? While we are working, the doctors in school, some doctors go undergrad, some doctors go to grad school, and then they go to med school. And after they go to med school, then they're continuing to do more and more and more because they became a specialist. It's the same thing. You have attorneys do the same thing. You have financial planners. You have CPAs do the same thing. That's why I encourage you, always use a professional. Always use a professional. Don't begrudge or look at what the person may be charging. Ask the better question. Instead of asking the cost, ask the benefit. And then you can compare the benefit to the cost. Do you know a lot of times people miss out on the benefit because instead of asking the benefit, they didn't even stop to ask the benefit. They ask the cost and they perceive that the cost is too high, but they did not even wait to hear the benefit. So this is what I'm telling you. Ask the benefit. Ask the benefit first. Ask the benefit first. I'm not telling you shouldn't ask the cost. Don't get me wrong. Of course, you got to be good steward. You can't just pay for something, but find out the benefits and weigh the benefits versus the cost. If the benefits are not up to par with the cost, then you pass. But don't make a decision just on the cost. Compare the cost with the benefits. Okay? Because it's like I'm telling you about the taxes. The tax code has, do you guys know that the tax code has over 80,000 pages? 80,000 pages. You think the news can talk about 80,000 pages? No, the news just gonna talk about something to make news sell more. That's what news talk about. You know, remember, you're saying, well, oh my gosh, the news didn't say this, they didn't say that. Listen, the news, they're gonna talk about topics that increase ratings. Come on, you should know that. It's about ratings. All the news channel, every news channel nationwide, let's use the nationwide, it's about ratings. They're each trying to outdo the other. You think it's where they are a non-profit? Well, maybe if you listen to public radio now, That's a non-profit organization, and they will be sharing news with you that will help you. But when you listen to the mainstream news, it's all about ratings. It's not for them to share with you this good that happened in the world over here or over there, because you want to know the fact, you don't want to know the truth of the matter. Good news don't help ratings. And that's sad. But listen, it's a fact, right? So we're not going to try to deviate from the fact. You're going to take the fact and you're going to make the fact work for you. So here it is. We talk about taxes. It's a fact that we have to pay taxes. But instead of you being concerned that you have to pay taxes, then one of your responsibility then is to identify, how can I pay less tax? And someone will say, oh my gosh, I'm on the radio and I'm encouraging people to pay less tax. Don't blame it on me. Go look it up. 1932, Supreme Court Justice Judge Learned Hand. Listen to the name. What an awesome name. Judge Learned Hand. Judge Learned Hand says it's the right of every United States citizen or resident to pay the least amount of tax legally. Yes, the tax code is there to help you with your write-off. Oh my God. So as I said to you, there are just many things. Just educate yourself. And that's why we come alongside you to educate you. We come on every Sunday nights, 9 to 10 on WAVS 1170, the heartbeat. Listen to the heartbeat of the Caribbean. So what we're trying to do, increase your heartbeat, increase your lifeline. So thank you for joining us every Sunday night, 9 to 10, and we will see you next week.
Don't be mad.
She'll be back next week
On
www.waves1170.com.
Hubert McIntosh is a member of the Society for Financial Awareness, www.sofausa.org.
Promotional consideration provided by
LifelineTax.com, the REMAP Accounting Firm, the Wealth Management and Distribution Group, and the McIntosh Insurance Agency.
Financial Literacy on Waves 1170 AM
Is a digital media production by Hubert McIntosh. WAVS